What's up guys, girls, and people with two eyes? Last year, I released a massive collab featuring 6 YouTubers where they were presented with 2 to 4 screenshots of a part of a RobTop level, and they had to choose which one showed the original unmodified image of the level. But today, I'm going to flip the tables on you. Today, I'll be going through a selection of levels, all in increasing difficulty, and I invite you to test yourself and see how many you get right. However, the key difference here is that I'm not asking you to figure out which one is the real level. You need to figure out what the difference is. I'll be telling you which one is the real level and which one is changed, and you need to figure out what's changed about it. So it'll be a little bit harder. Another difference here is that I want you to go all out and use all tools at your disposal. So in addition to just showing things in the video, I'll also be providing the levels for you to analyze in both GMD format and also unlisted level IDs if you don't have geode. Nothing is off limits here, and I'm excited to see your results. And don't worry, I'll be revealing all the answers at the end. So without further ado, let's jump in. You know something you should jump into doing? Hitting that subscribe button, baby! Yeah! Because I've demolished 300k, and now we're setting our sights on 400k. Let's go! Alright, back to quizzes. Round 1 is going to be the easiest, so if you get a question right here, give yourself 2 points. And if you get it wrong, then you get nothing. Don't worry about counting your score right now, though. We'll go back over the point values when it's time for the answers. So for now, just keep track of your guesses. First up is Stereo Madness. For the easier rounds, I'll be showing video of both versions of the levels, so you can hopefully tell what's different without having to go into the editor. But like I mentioned before, the levels will still be in the description if you want to make sure. Good luck! Did you figure out what was different? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Up next is Bloodbath. Most of these will be RobTop levels, but I've sprinkled in a couple of custom levels to shake things up. Alright, here we go. Alright, next up is Deadlocked. This is the final question of the easy round. Good luck! And that's the end of the easy round. Next up, we'll move on to the medium round. These questions will be worth 3 points, but again, for now, just keep track of your answers. First up is Theory of Everything 2. Good luck! Alright, next up is our second custom level. This one is The Nightmare. Here's the video. And now for the final question of the medium round, Geometrical Dominator. Good luck! And that's all for the medium round. Now for the hard round. This is the first round where you will not be shown a side-by-side comparison. You may have to open the game here and look around yourself. Don't get me wrong, I don't really expect most people to do this, but the option is there if you want a challenge. Anyways, first up is Dash. Best of luck! Next up is Fingerdash, my favorite. Good luck with this one. And now for the final question of the hard round, the 7 C's. Here it comes. And that's the hard round done. Next up, the impossible round. If you're not opening these up in the editor or using external tools, you probably won't get these. Regardless, let's jump in. The first question is for Sonic Wave. Best of luck. This is probably the only one that you might be able to get with just the video. Next is blast processing. Here's the video. And for the final, hardest question, hexagon force. I'm going to give you one hint for this one, and that hint is that a useful tool to figure out the answer would be Save Explorer tool, which will be linked in the description. Anyways, here we go. And that's all the questions I have. I will now go over the answers to each question, so if you haven't picked your answers yet, now is the time to go back and rewatch any parts that you may need to, or poke around in the editor. Remember, all the levels are downloadable as GMD files in the description, or available as unlisted levels. Okay, if you're still with me, I assume that means you're ready for the answers. So here we go. First up is the easy round. If you get these differences right, give yourself 2 points. Stereo Madness' difference was probably pretty obvious to almost everyone here. You can see that the triple spike in the original has been nerfed to a double spike in the modified version. So if you guessed that was the change, you're right. Next up was Bloodbath. Another easy difference here. If you guessed that Etzer's logo is gone, then you're also right. Give yourself 2 points if you got that one. And the final question of the easy round was Deadlocked. If you guessed that the eyes in the first wave structure were gone, then that's correct. Hopefully you're doing alright so far. And hey, maybe you even got all 3 right. Regardless, there's still plenty of time to catch up. On to the medium round. The first one here was Theory of Everything 2. This one is definitely more subtle, but you may have noticed that that one block that's off-grid in the background is back in alignment in the changed version. So if you guessed that difference, give yourself 3 points. Next up was the Nightmare. This one honestly could have gone in the easy category because I thought it might have been a little too obvious that all the Stereo Madness blocks were gone in the changed version, but oh well. Enjoy the 3 points if you guessed that. And finally, Geometrical Dominator. This one was a bit more subtle, but you may have noticed something looked off about the structures here. That's because in the changed version, all of the blocks were flipped horizontally. If you guessed that, you got it right. I'm curious as to how you're holding up. Maybe you got your first one wrong here. Maybe you're still flawless. Don't worry, regardless, we've got 2 rounds to go still. Next up, the hard round. For each correct answer here, give yourself 5 points. Yeah, 5. We're getting a bit more difficult, so the point values are going up. First up was Dash, and this one honestly probably wasn't too bad for a lot of you. If you know Dash well enough, you probably realize that the particles at the very start were changed from skulls to snowflakes. So if you guessed that, give yourself 5 points. Next up was Fingerdash. This is the first one that I think is legitimately difficult to get without inspecting the editor or using external tools. Answer is that this structure has had its block design pattern moved up. If you guessed that, 5 points to you. And finally, the 7 C's. This one wasn't too bad if you compared it to the regular level with a video, and if you did, you may have noticed that 2 of the background pulses were swapped, so there were 2 pinker pulses back to back and then a purple one instead of pink, purple, pink. Whew, alright, that one was a substantial increase, and I hate to say it, but it's not going to get any easier from here. Now on to the impossible round. Every question here will be worth an increasing value of points, with the final question being worth 10 points if you legitimately get it right. The first round is Sonic Wave. If you analyze this one in the editor, you might have noticed that the entire 9 circles part with the swapping colors was moved forward 1 block. If you got that one right, give yourself 6 points. Next up, blast processing. This one would have without doubt required the editor to find. If you open this up in the editor and select the entire wave part, you can see 1 block sticking out, revealing itself to be a colored block that is black instead of a solid black block by default. If you got this one, give yourself 8 points. I know that might seem like a lot of points for something relatively easy, but I want to reward people who are actually doing the work to open the editor and search. Next up, the hardest question, and the only one that I believe is only feasible to find with external tools. Hexagon Force. I'll just give you the answer up front and tell you that this color trigger by the ship portal has had its hex value changed by 1. Now, you may be wondering, how on earth are you meant to figure this out? Well, here's how I would have done it, and here's how I did it to make sure that it's possible. Get both copies of the level in your created levels. Close GD. Open Save Explorer. Drag in your CC local levels file, and you should see all of your created levels here. Open the inner level strings of both copies of Hexagon Force, and paste them into your text editor of choice. Add new lines between every object, which are separated by semicolons. Insert both of the filtered texts into a difference checker. Find the one highlighted difference. Download the GMD file for the level. Reinsert that singular difference into the GMD file. Import the modified GMD file back into the game, and your result will be a level that has only the changed object in it, which you can then see is this one color trigger above the ship portal. If you somehow manage to get that, award yourself 10 points. Is that a minute amount of points compared to the amount of work required to get it? Probably, but did you even actually do the work? Statistically, probably not, so it's alright. Anyways, yeah, that's all the differences I've got for you. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Post your scores down below, because I'm curious to hear how you all did, and I can't wait to see how many of you lied about getting the final question right when you definitely didn't. Special thanks to all channel members including Gatto, Invdu, Gabriel555Tai, Ghosty, Artificial, Caracoles, Cool Dude XD, and Lincoln Brawl Stars. Thank you guys very much for all the support, it means the absolute world to me. And yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.